Hi, I'm Evelyn Linwood. Welcome back to my channel. This is the vlog that did not want to be. I have recorded, I recorded me setting up part of my bullet journal, and the angle was really bad and caught part of my body, and I'm not willing to show it because it was just an awkward angle. And then I already filmed this intro once and my microphone was off, which is just a very simple, I accidentally touched the touch button. But yeah, here we are. Before we get started, I wanted to kind of show how I use my bullet journal as an author and writer. Writer and author? One or the other. Hi, Sammy. And we have my little helper here. The little string in the bullet journal makes a great cat toy. Except for when she breaks it. Okay. So, I have been using my journal for many months. Well, I've been journaling for years. But I've been using my journal as a social media and online platform tracker for many months. I've been doing kind of a calendar style, and then I'll have a side thing where I track metrics like reach, views, etc. For August, I'm doing something a little bit different. So I have it set up so that I have a week's worth of posts, and then I have a separate section for video content and a separate section for websites and advertising and one for newsletter and content marketing, which I don't know if these will be idea space or tasks, just stuff I don't want to fall through the cracks, but I knew that I would need space for all of those, so I just kind of decided to try something new. I will be posting less to Instagram. My goal is 3 times a week. That is for 2 separate accounts, so it's actually 6 times a week, but ideally at the same time, and hopefully I can just do plan it all at once, just upload all 6 posts at once and then let it go. Same thing for Facebook. I am new to Blue Sky, so I don't know how much I'll be posting there, but I will be tracking starting followers and ending followers just so that I know if that is actually leading to growth. I'm not being super strategic about Blue Sky, which I'm told that it doesn't really have an algorithm, so that shouldn't be an issue. Anyway. This is my social media tracker and website and newsletter and stuff. If you want to know more about all the various social media I use as an author, I'm happy to share, but it is a little bit boring if you're not in the same space. So let me know if that's something you want to see. Or just ask it in the comments and I'll give a list. And then in July, this month, in July as if it was past tense, it's July 23rd right now. This month I have been tracking my 185 Insane Challenge, to try and give myself a boost to get going with it. It's not been going all that well, to be honest. I'm tracking, did I work on a planned work day? Did I do the sprints that I've required of myself, which is 6 trees on Tuesdays and 1 tree other work days. Now, by tree, I mean a 25-minute sprint. I use this app called Forest where you grow a tree. So, and then am I reading each day? And I've been doing a lot better with reading, by the way. So, my reading slump is officially busted. That is no more. Drinking water, which I've been doing better with. vegetables, which is kind of a mixed bag, to be honest. I do think I'm starting to feel better. I had a lot of healing to do, so it was rough going for a bit, but I'm doing better. I think I can handle more vegetables moving forward. Physical therapy, I have definitely seen progress, but I am not happy with my efforts, so I will be renewing that moving forward. And then, am I playing piano? I haven't actually restarted my side hobby yet. I have been having a rough month. I've been over that in my previous writing vlog. You know what's going down. Wow, that you can tell I was born in the 90s. Anyway, this month, instead of doing a writing tracker like that, which has a lot to fill out every day, I will be, for August, I added a section to my calendar to draw little trees in when I do them. I don't have a specific goal for number of trees. It's just if I fill up the purple box, I get to fill in the green box too. Yay me. Yeah, and then I also have my Kanban board, which has not seen nearly as much progress as I had hoped. I've probably shown it a few weeks ago and it looked pretty much the same. I've been stuck. I've been super duper stuck. I don't know why. I think it was just I was in my head about Project Gold is a sequel, and that is so nerve-wracking for reasons unknown to me. I am mostly through Act 1. I have the catalyst and the debate left for both of my main character point of views. There's only 2 point of views. I don't know why I said it that way. For both of my main characters. And I'm still on chapter 13 of Project King. Project Gold, I'm excited for the story, kinda, but your love for your project, if you're a writer, you know this, your love for your project waxes and wanes. Right now it's waned. I still like my characters, which I can usually say almost always. I've been worried about the tone being consistent with the first one because a bunch of people have said that my first book was lighthearted, which I didn't think of it that way. And then I realized also that it's the first book is definitely clean. I know some people don't like that term, but it applies to more than just adult content. It also applies to is there swearing? Is there graphic violence? So I don't know another term that covers all 3. If you do, please let me know, because I know that is not the most popular term. I know plenty of people are still using it, and I don't actually have a problem with the term myself, but I would love an alternative just as a, so yeah, it almost fits that. It's not on purpose, but none of the characters swear. There's no graphic violence, and there's never going to be any hanky-panky anywhere in my books because A, that would make me very uncomfortable, and B, I have moral issues with it. So that won't be in my books. And then, so I didn't realize that I had inadvertently written a clean book, and also that it is lighthearted. I didn't think it was. I don't know. So I've been kind of weird about that project. Every time I sit down to work on it, I'm just but what if I didn't though? accidentally distracting myself. Accidentally on purpose. So, very little writing progress. Hopefully I will have some to like fill in after this in this video. But this is where I'm at. I've been spinning my wheels, doing client work, doing housework, not doing my writing. We've all been there, right? Right? Hi. It is Thursday, July 24th. I'm here with my writing helper. I did about an hour of writing today. Well, I was in planning mode, so I've planned up through the end of Act 1 for Project Gold, which I know I've said before, but I was wrong. So I had a plan that I thought would work. I thought it was more detailed than it was. Now it's truly planned up through... I might need a little more for the debate for one of the characters, but the majority is, at least in my outline, fully fleshed out idea for 4 new scenes, which it's surprising me that I'm being such a planner about this project, but I guess everybody's writing changes per project, and maybe even just over time I'm becoming more of a planner. Yeah. So I finally busted through. I think a major part of the issue was just that I'm putting too much pressure on myself to maintain the tone from the first book. A lot of readers have called Showing Silver like lighthearted, or I've had a couple people, like, I'm getting that it is close to cozy, which is not at all what I had intended. So I'm putting too much pressure about tone on myself, which is absolutely ridiculous for a first draft. I've never done a sequel before. I have started the sequel for Project King, and that was actually coming, like, I have a few scenes, they came out really easily. I'm not too worried about that. I think it is easier to draft a sequel before the first book is published. So I might try and do that for Project King. It's too late to do that for Project Gold. But, yeah. So I might actually delay Project King a little bit to accomplish that. Which, honestly, is better because as a reader, there's less weight between the first 2 books then. Yeah, so I don't know if I just need more experience with sequels, or if it's because it's published, or if it was because I was editing for so long that it's hard to draft and get the gotta do this, gotta do that out of my mind. The first draft literally just has to exist. I need to tell myself the story. It doesn't matter if the tone matches. It doesn't matter if the dialogue is clunky. I just need to get words on the page. So, I'm pretty excited about that. I had a good writing session today. And then I had a meeting with my mastermind group, which I did through like this writing course I took. So the mastermind group is just a handful of writers who are kind of helping each other out with regular meetings, and like we get a spotlight every few meetings. So today we were going over one of the other authors' synopsis to try and kind of help her with her sequel. So going through that, I had a lot of inspiration for my own, like the plots are completely dissimilar. There's nothing in common. But it was we both had kind of a messy middle issue. So I got a lot of inspiration out of that meeting. And I think I'm going to sit down and do a little bit more writing right now. So I'm not sure if I will work on Project Gold or Project King because it has been a while since I've done any Project King work. And I don't want to completely lose my place. So I think maybe it would be wiser to do that. But I also busted through a wall today with Project Gold. So maybe I should capitalize on the momentum. This is the issue with being a multi-project writer. Like, literally, I can't write one. I get bored and just stop writing. And even with the 2, I'm thinking to myself, but what if there were 3? And I know, people tell me all the time, well, you should just focus on one and get it done. Not in this chaos being, no. Anyway, I'm going to get started. I think I will just do maybe a single 25-minute sprint. So I'll do that on my Forest app. And I will work on Project Gold and see how far I get. And if I'm still in the mood to do extra writing after that, I can switch to Project King if I want. So that's what I'll be doing for the next 25 minutes. I will kind of angle my computer and see if I can't get my hands and see if I can do that so that there is footage, B-roll they call it. I always like watching people actually do their sprints, so I'll angle the keyboard, the mic at the keys, and maybe we can get some of the clicky-clacky sounds. Well, I think I will only film the one. Oh. Okay. Well, I think I will only film the one sprint just because you don't need to watch me click-clack in the whole video. I made good progress. I did have to get up in the middle of the sprint, but I'm actually like fully in drafting mode. I went into the previous scene and added a little bit and kind of reread bits of it. And I've pulled up showing silver and I'm kind of going through, I can't tell you, but something is reminding one character of something else and it's possibly romantical. So I'm having fun. Anyway, I think instead of growing more trees, I will... Ooh, gotta click the tree button. Yay. Okay, I think instead of growing more trees, I'm going to actually log into Discord and see if any writing friends are online. I tend to do better with friend sprints, and I know that I'm in writing mode, so I don't want to lose the momentum, and I think that if I'm sprinting with other people, I will sprint longer. I'm not switching to Project King. I am so in the zone. I'm so happy. You have no idea. I've been so stuck, and I'm unstuck, and it is wonderful. And I still love these characters. I don't know what it is. I'm just so happy. Okay, I have good news and bad news. Good news, I'm still unstuck. Bad news, I lost a spider on my desk. I'm not a fan of those things. I live somewhere where it's not a big deal, technically, logically. Okay, it's somewhere. So if I seem a little distracted, that is why. Yeah, so I am unstuck on my book. I have made progress on my Kanban board. I've moved several little sticky notes. I only have one lone Act 1 sticky note that is not in the doing section for Project Gold. And then only 2 in the doing, which means I have moved sticky notes. Yay! And I finished chapter 13 for Project King. Turns out, I think the reason that I was having so much trouble, I forgot that in the first 3 versions, a character was in this location who is no longer in the location where the scenes take place. So kind of reworking it to make it make sense has been a little tricky when I didn't remember why it wasn't making sense. It's been a while since I've worked on Project King. It's just been sitting in the background, drafted but not edited. Because it was the first book I ever finished writing, and then I rewrote it. And then I did half an edit on it, but it's a whole thing. Okay. Yeah, so I am up to chapter 14 in that book. I think there's only 1 or 2 more chapters where the other character not being there matters. Once I get through, honestly, I think it's just 2 1.5. And then the characters are back in where I need them to be, and then it'll go a lot easier. Except that I'm adding in a whole side arc, so I will have some to draft, but I honestly think that will be easier than what I've been doing. Yeah. I think I need to reevaluate my long writing days. Now, I've been going off and on. I've done going to a cafe to write on those days, and that does go a little bit better. But Tuesday, which is what I've had as my long writing day, is not the most convenient. I think I'm going to move cafe day to Thursday. And I don't know long term if I will be doing a long writing day every week, because I've been some weeks just not writing at all that day, which if having a long writing day is going to make me not want to write at all, that might not be the best. It is great for getting unstuck, so I don't know if I will maybe make it a once a month phenomenon, or if perhaps I will, whenever I feel like I'm stuck, if I haven't moved any sticky notes in a while, if I haven't made progress in a while, then I will just say, oh, I need a long writing day, and I'll do it then. I have to think that through, but I think I will be changing that in the future. So my 185 rules will change a little bit. But I have been doing, I think this week, I've been doing a really good job. Oh, it's a week after the last clip. It is Wednesday, July 30th. Yeah, so I think I've been doing a lot better with the 185. I've actually given up on my tracking sheet, which happens a lot when I do a big tracking sheet for a bullet journal. I'm not a big fan, which is funny because I use the journal itself very consistently, but whenever I have something I have to track, I get what I call tracking fatigue, and I just get tired of writing it down. But looking back at it, I have been doing work days on planned work days. I've been doing writing on planned writing days. Not the long writing days, though. Those have been spotty. I've been doing a lot better on my reading. Again, that's still very much my reading slump is busted. I'm very happy with my reading currently. Water, I've been doing better with. Veggies, I've been doing a lot better with. I am so grateful to be able to eat vegetables again. If you've been through that kind of issue, you probably understand, but yeah, I do miss bread though. Celiacs is a physical therapy I've been doing slightly better with, but not the best, so I will again still need to be pushing with that. And then piano, I I still haven't started, but it is a rest of the year thing, and I'm not really too concerned about starting that right now. I have a lot going on between trying to finish my book, having some guests coming this week. We seem to be having like a really busy summer. So I think once the summer calms down, I'll care more about piano. Where did that spider go? Anywho, yes, I think we will leave this here. If you're curious about the shirt, it says, "I don't need Google. My husband knows everything." I think it's hilarious. I chose it myself. My husband did not pick it out. Hi, Sammy. My helper came to say goodbye. And I will see you next time. So thanks for watching, and see you soon.